Titus, the emperor's son, is credited with designing the Roman Colosseum. Titus was the eldest son of Emperor Vespasian, born in 39 AD. He was educated together with Claudius' son, Britannicus, and they became close friends from 61 through 60 AD. He served as a military tribune in Germany. He worked through the military ranks, eventually gaining the title of Quaestor. He succeeded to the throne in 79 AD and had a short reign, dying in 81 AD, but is one of the most well-liked Roman emperors. Roman Emperor Vespasian funded the building of the Colosseum. Vespasian became the emperor in 69 AD. He gave a lot of money to improving Rome's architecture, building structures such as a new forum, a temple to peace, and the Colosseum. Vespasian was a well-liked emperor, except for the fact that Jerusalem was destroyed by the Jews during his reign. The Roman Colosseum was commissioned and began to be built in 70 AD. It was not opened for the first time after being completed in 80 AD. The Colosseum had not had any changes made since. It was completed and has been left as is, and no improvements have been made to the Colosseum after its completion in 80 AD. The dimensions of the Colosseum, or the distance around the outer eclipse, is 524 meters and is also 188 meters long and 155 meters wide. These dimensions separate it from the largest amphitheater ever built. The Colosseum also had an retractable roof, which is the first of its kind. It was comparable to the roof of the domes used in other sports today. The Colosseum is built out of limestone, a material called tuff, granite tile, and a lot of concrete. The design of the Roman Colosseum applied the latest in Roman arts, engineering, architecture, and other creative endeavors. The invention of concrete enabled this massive building to be built quickly, efficiently, and had great effect. All of this was done to the highest artistic standard in a very highly skilled manner. The Roman used a new building technique, standardizing parts. Vespasian had to get support back from the people to ensure the popularity of the Flavian families. His idea was to demolish the palace of Nero and to construct a permanent arena for the housing, free gladiator games, and other entertainment for the music of the mob. The magnificence of the building was to convey the glory of Rome.
The Colosseum can be found at Piazza del Colosseo 10184, Rome, Italy. Some unusual traits about the Colosseum are its unusually large size, and it's the largest amphitheater in the world. The Colosseum was used for people's entertainment. They would bring slaves in to fight lions, tigers, and each other. They fought until one was killed, and then they would bring in someone else. These slaves were called gladiators and were highly respected if they were successful in the Colosseum. They were like professional athletes today, and some were even considered heroes. The seating arrangement was arranged by social class. The seating was called the cavea, which surrounded the central arena. The seating arena was separated from the arena to protect the spectators. The cavea was separated into 4 tiers and then subdivided into wedges. The first tier was called the podium and was reserved for members of the Roman government. The second tier was called the Millennium Primum and was reserved for the noble class that were not in the government. The Millennium Secundum Imum was reserved for the wealthier members of the lower class and were considered pretty good seats. The Millennium Secundum Summum were upper seats for the poor classes and were essentially the nosebleed seats. The fourth tier were made up of steep wooden seats and were used for only women and would have been used for slaves as well. However, slaves were strictly banned from being spectators. There was also standing room in the top tier and in the aisles. Besides the slaves, there are other groups banned from spectating, including actors, gravediggers, and former gladiators. The only thing that has altered the Colosseum to this day are the constant erosion and graffiti that has been put on the Colosseum. The erosion has caused many of the walls to become only rubble, while some are still standing and only the top of them has fallen. The structure is not in use today. It is only used as a tourist attraction. Almost everyone who goes to Rome goes to see the Colosseum, as it is one of the most amazing pieces of Roman architecture. It is not used because the Colosseum has been left in disrepair from all the erosion over the years and is no longer able to be used for anything. In my opinion, the Colosseum is a great piece of architecture because of the immense size and the building techniques that went into building it were new and innovative. The Colosseum is still the biggest amphitheater ever built. This is amazing that it was built without using machines. Thousands of slaves built the Colosseum by hand. All the concrete was mixed by hand, laid by hand, and all the tile was also put down by hand.